Hi, everybody. Rabbi Moshe Rothschild bringing you the summary of the news from Israel for the week ending August 1st, 2019. Special shout out to the Jewish Women's Renaissance Project, the Momentum trip that is going on right now, and I had the privilege of guiding them. So here we go. This week, an IDF officer was moderately wounded as a terrorist broke through the fence in by Gaza, and it ended up in a shootout with the terrorist being killed. Now let's give a little perspective to the region of what's going on here in Israel. Israel, we know, has been accused many times by the UN of all kinds of things, and this week Israel was accused of being the only country that was sanctioned by the United Nations Human Rights Commission for violation of women's rights. So let's give you a little perspective of what's going on here. Saudi Arabia published just now new laws allowing women to apply for a passport and travel freely, which ended a long-standing tradition that men were the guardians over the women. Also, however, still in place in Saudi Arabia is a rule that a male must consent to a woman leaving prison. He must consent to her exiting a domestic abuse shelter or to marry. Women, unlike men, cannot pass citizenship onto their children and cannot provide consent for children to marry. So I guess when the UN says that Israel is the only violator of women's rights, well, I guess they never heard of Saudi Arabia. We also, kudos to J-Lo, who rocked Israel this week. Jennifer Lopez performed Thursday evening as part of her global It's My Party tour. She turned 50 and she's celebrating, so here's to J-Lo. This week, Israel approved 700 new housing starts for the Arab sector. They will be constructing them in the West Bank Area C. If you don't know what that means, Google it because it's too long to explain. But this was a move that some here are saying was that our prime minister was persuaded by the Trump administration, which was this is meant to be sort of an incentive ahead of the official Trump U.S. peace plan announcement. It was announced in the news this week that Jared Kushner, senior White House advisor, will be making his rounds in the Middle East, inviting different leaders from the Arab world to Camp David for a massive peace summit. And then it was reported that the White House said that this is fake news. It's not true. This is not happening. The Kalandia crossing, which is the largest crossing where the Palestinians come into work, and they are issued some 83,000 work permits. It's always been backed up, so Israel now put in facial recognition scanners, and it will ease the conditions of the workers trying to get in, so they can easily detect any security threats or if anyone's a security threat. So they installed that this week. In the election update, the right-wing parties, the Jewish Home, the National Union signed an agreement with the New Right to run on a joint list. It is called the United Right in the upcoming elections. Estimates have them getting anywhere from 10 to 14 seats, but these polls kind of change day to day, week to week. The election is coming up in September 17th, about a month and a half away. Let's see. The latest polls has the Blue and White Party and the Likud Party as being the two largest vote getters. They're basically practically neck and neck. It just depends, like I said, on the day or the week. They're each estimated to receive about anywhere from 28 to 30 votes. Right now, the right-wing bloc has 58 seats out of the 60 needed, excluding Lieberman's party. And the left-wing bloc has about 53 seats. So right now, the right-wing bloc seems to be in the lead. Also, this week, Ron Dermer, Israel's ambassador to the UN, was in Alaska. It was initially announced that it was a secret meeting, so you'll hear it here first. But The secret was let out of the cat was let out of the bag when it was announced that Israel and the United States in a joint test, they successfully tested the Arrow 3 missile defense system in Alaska, and of course afterwards they all went skiing. This is a great achievement for the security of Israel, said Netanyahu. All of our enemies should know that we will overcome them in both defense and offense. So that's about it. There's a lot of other things going on, but I try to keep these under 7 minutes. Hope you had a wonderful week and a great week coming up. Wishing everybody out there a Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful Sabbath, and we'll be back next week. You know how to reach me. If you'd like to, just respond to this email. Have a great day.